Kookie Ji, your latest directorial venture, that's The Big Bull, starring Abhishek Bachchan, is slated to drop on Hotstar on Thursday, that's March 8th. Yes. Are you excited? And also, you know what we look, the film, of course, is set in the 80s and 90s of Mumbai. And it tells the story of the stockbroker and his rise and his inevitable fall. And it looks like it's inspired by the life of Harshad Mehta.
It's actually something that I went through because in 1990, my father, after I came out of school, forced me to join the stock market. And so 1990, 1991, I was worked at the stock market. Little did I know, 30 years later, I'll be making a movie on it. Actually, my dad came from Ahmednagar, and he came to Bombay on a cycle. And I just thought that this city can give you so much. So a large part of the beginning of the story is inspired actually a lot from my father's story as well. There are parts that have been inspired through real events, definitely in the film, because I was part of that era which actually changed India. If you remember, in 85, 87, India was on the brink of bankruptcy. We were actually a failed state. In 3 weeks, we didn't have money to buy fuel. I don't think today's youth, if I tell them that we as a country were broke, they're going to believe you, So I thought just telling that story of where we've come from, when we used to put a coin and dial a phone and used to go cut, 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 cut. That world, even though it's pretty in our recent past, feels like it's an eternity old, and I felt that this was such a compelling story. And of course, we get a protagonist who goes through the whole ups and downs. He actually reflects what at that point of time India was going through.
Is it inspired by the life of Harshad Mehta?
Not at all. I mean, there are certain true events that have happened that we have captured. We've got that in the film, and you will see it. But as a personality, Hemant Shah, the character, has his own journey that he goes through, and we have dealt with it at a very human level. So I think that is something that I wanted to talk to the youth today about, how they should actually learn how to handle success also. One thing is getting success and one thing is how to keep it.
When Sony Live's Scam 1992 dropped last year, it has that shock value. It has things which we didn't know. What is there in this film that will, you think, surprise the viewers?
So it's a completely different journey than that show. I've seen that show. It's a wonderful show. That obviously spoke a lot about the scam itself. I think it was pretty technical also, and it gave a lot of detail into actually how somebody did a scam. Our story is really about the human side of it. I mean, it's really about this human journey, a man's journey, and what he goes through and what is happening on his front. So they're actually something completely different. Of course, we have, it was meant something that I'd written for big screen, and it was supposed to be in theaters. So firstly, it's a film compared to a show. So I think therein it lies the first difference. The way the drama has been built in our story, the way the film moves is completely different. I think it'll be a very different experience. I'm pretty sure of it. As of now, it's speculation. Because I've seen both, I can very confidently tell you. But otherwise, it's speculation on part of everybody. But I'm open to that. I mean, I have no issues on people speculating. I'm sure once they watch it, they will understand what I'm saying right now. I can't argue that point at this moment.
For the first time, you have co-written a film. You have co-written with Arjun Dhawan.
Dhawan, yes.
Did you change anything after watching the Hansal Mehta Scam?
We started writing this 5 years back in 2016. So I have not changed a single word from what we have written.
I want to talk about the casting. You very aptly, it looks like, cast Abhishek Bachchan in the lead role. And this is a film which is backed by Ajay Devgan.
Ajay Devgan, yes.
You never felt like casting Ajay instead of AB in the lead? or was Abhishek Bachchan always your first choice for the role?
I worked with Ajay sir in Total Dhamal. I was a creative director. That's where I met him. And when I narrated the script to him, I actually didn't have any cast or anybody in mind. I just narrated the script as it was. And he immediately said, I would love to produce this. This is really the kind of cinema ADF wants to make and wants to produce. So after that started the conversation on casting. And immediately when he heard the story, he said, I think Abhishek will fit in this perfectly. And I jumped at it. I knew Abhishek wasn't doing too much work at that point of time. And I was initially obviously a little concerned because I thought that the spectrum this character has is something that an Abhishek Bachchan would do it to another level, which he did eventually in the film. Because I believe everybody is not black and white, everybody is shades of gray. And I think the amount of shades of gray that this character has, Abhishek was definitely one of the actors who could pull it off. He had the swag, he had the personality to play this character, to go from rags to riches. I think the arc was so huge. So I was really glad when Ajay sir suggested his name. I was actually thrilled, and even more thrilled when Abhishek Bachchan said yes to my film.
What attracted Abhishek Bachchan to the movie?
One, I think Ajay Devgan. I'll be very honest. Of course, the story in itself, it gives a, an actor an amazing range. I think that's what we had written, and it was the journey of over 15 years. So I think as an actor, something that he could really bite into, and anytime Abhishek has been given a character where he can really dig deep, he's always done a fantastic job, and I think that's what he probably saw in this script.
This is a film which is set in Dalal Street, and you have
Yes,
songs in the movie, and you
yes,
have a song one by Carrie Minati.
yes,
What prompted that decision? Why you chose Carrie Minati to come and rap song for the movie, right?
yeah, yes,
What
yes.
was this a marketing decision, or is he a part of the film?
No, the track is a background track. It's a title track in the film. It's like an OST, which internationally they use as an original soundtrack. And then we've used that track as the background score in parts of our film. Uh, when we heard the song, we were actually looking for a background track, a title track for the film. And my editor and creative director of ADF, Dharmendra Sharma, he is the one who actually suggested this song. And the moment I heard it, I knew that the energy that this song had was something that we needed in the film. Of course, I knew another one was the creative, that was the creative angle of it. But even if I have to think from a bit of a marketing standpoint, I felt that my story is set in the 90s. But how do I get today's youth to connect with it and watch it? And that's where I think getting something like a Carrie Minati to do a track for us kind of really fell into place. So definitely I wanted to increase and my audience into and step into the youth, because end of the day this is a story I actually want to tell them. So what better connect than finding somebody from them, one of their own, to be a part of this.
What were the most challenging bits you had while making the film?
I mean, recreating the 80s and 90s was a challenge. I also wanted to shoot a lot in real locations because I'd grown up in South Mumbai. I kind of knew South Mumbai well, and I really wanted to show the people what I've seen and I've grown up on, and it was really part of my life. So I think that that was a big challenge to kind of recreate those times, the authenticity of it as much as possible. So I really hope it people enjoy it.
Can you just talk about working with the actors, especially with like directing Abhishek Bachchan, Ileana, and some very talented bunch of actors you have, Mahesh Manjrekar, Saurabh Shukla, and others. Was that important to have this team of very talented actors, Supriya Pathak you have in the movie?
So when I written the film, of course, I had a dream cast, and I knew that certain characters didn't have big lengthy roles as in the typical, but they are extremely key characters, and I really wanted that I could be able to convince good actors to come and play. And thankfully, today our actors understand that so well, that playing a good part is so much more important than just pure length. And I would really thank all these great, I mean, Ram Kapoor to Saurabh Shukla to all these actors who have come and been part of this film. Working with these actors made me grow. Saurabh sir had a scene, and uh, it was a very simple scene, but there was some context in it. And I'm telling you that there was just a camera on him, and he had to give a look. Trust me, that one look, the way he gave it to, it's a scene between him and Ilyana, and then suddenly he burped, you know. And I just thought that it's such a simple human deed to have chai and burp, and makes him so real and just so amazing that these kind of small nuances that these they bring uh, uh, on the table just takes it to the next level. Supriya ji, of course, I mean, uh, she plays Heman Shah's mother in the film, and because they have played mother and son before, their chemistry was just outstanding. I think that Abhishek and her had a phenomenal chemistry, and the way they pulled off scenes, you'll really feel for them. Ram Kapoor obviously brought the kind of panache that I needed. There's a dialogue which is like 4 pages, and he said it in like a single take. So things like that, which these people bring. Mahesh Manjrekar, again, just the presence. Now, a lot of these are big characters in the film, and I not the kind of guy who likes too much dialogue, Basu. So I like dialogues. I think that they are very interesting in way of form of communication. But I love expressions, and they with just their eyes, these actors, they don't even need to do much. Their eyes talk, and that's when you know you have your scene. You know, that's when you know that you've got it. They have to just look at each other, and that kind of conveys the scene. And I think that is something that is so amazing with the experience they bring.
That means that makes the job of a director very easy for you, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time, Cookie Gulati.
Thank you for having me, and yeah, really look forward for you to watch the film.
Thank you so much.